get real, child. Let's get real.
Hi, thank you for being with me today. I hope all's going well with you. I've had a real exciting bunch of activities going on. I've recently hired a new person who's kind of a combination of a business consultant and a lawyer, and real excited to have him on board. And we're real excited about the off-grid community idea that you may have heard me talk about a little bit. But, I'm very concerned about an end of the world as we know it event, like a loss of grid electricity due to man or the sun. There's so many things that can go wrong with our modern society that we're so vulnerable to. So, as part of my inventive, creative, problem solving mind, I've been concerned about the survival of myself, but even more important, the next generations. If we did have something that destroyed the grid, or we didn't have the reliable electricity that's so crucial to modern society. So we're working on the ideas using inventions that I've come up with and know-how that I developed from my long career in agriculture to have a community that's self-sufficient in food, energy, and water. And we're looking at an area in between Denton and Decatur that's not very developed and very low density and has a big creek running through it called Denton Creek. You can go on Google Earth and search on 380 between Denton and Decatur, kind of about halfway, just over in Wise County. There's this creek called Denton Creek and a heavily wooded area. So it could be a really attractive community place for an off-grid community that has its own food production and lots of capability. So we're excited about that. And I'm glad to have this new person help me who's doing research so that we can formulate a business plan and try to raise the money needed to do a big rental community that people can live in good times and thrive in bad times. And we hope that'll be successful and be a lifestyle that people choose to adopt to kind of raise kids in a community school that has traditional values and where the kids do chores, raising food and doing simple tasks that children can safely do, to have that old-fashioned lifestyle that was so common in America 50 to 100 years ago, where so many people lived in the country and worked. But this is going to be a fairly dense community that'd be walkable and have all the essentials. And it's a big project, and I hope that you'll go to thethrivingvillage.org and stay tuned in if you're interested in that and in the Dallas area and thinking about having a different lifestyle and being more prepared for something going wrong. But many people just assume if something goes wrong, I'll just die, and that's kind of their go-to answer. But I'm looking for people who don't want to have their life end because of some event such as an end to grid electricity or a disruption of other types. So anyway, I'm optimistic about how man can change, but I'm also an agent that feels called to preach repentance. And repentance means to admit you're on the wrong path and you need to make a radical change in a different direction. And that's what I feel like we need to do in our society. That's what I spend a lot of time talking about with my climate program, which ties into this sustainable community idea of having a different way of living than more urban sprawl, where people are living a long way from where they work and not having a community that's really localized. And so anyway, if you're interested in that, you can go to thethrivingvillage.org or you can check out our other websites, and we'll be in a good place. But I'm excited about the prospects for this, looking for investors and looking for people who want to live in the community. So reach out to me, get online on GetRollTV.com and or GetRollAlliance.org and sign up for our contact information and get on the newsletters. We're doing good things, but we need your support. And I hope this word will get out to a large audience and we can make a difference. But I'm just one man, and without support and without followers, my efforts to make a difference in the world, to make the world carbon negative while we still use oil and gas, will just be a vain effort. But if it's God's will, I'm going to be blessed with support and followers, and we're going to make a big difference. And your help is badly needed. So please share us. Go to GetRollAlliance.org. Join us on social media. We're on LinkedIn. We're on all the sites. We have a big Facebook presence, and we need you to join with us. And God has a good plan for me and my life, and I feel real good about it, that I've been inspired to make a big difference. And if it's His will, to ensure that a remnant of humanity survives long-term many end-of-the-world events that can happen, and that right now will just wipe out most of humanity. So join with me, and I hope that we can talk more. If you're in the Dallas area, I'd love to have lunch with you or visit with you. So you can reach me, and I'd be glad to talk and share with you. We're making a big difference, slowly but surely, and I think it's going to be great. But I need the support, and I'm blessed with good fortune where I have the ability to start on making a cause and making an effort, but I need support to really make a difference. And we're in a tough situation, and I feel called to make a difference, and hope you'll join with me. We're also working on my invention company, fullofideas.com, and making a big bunch of progress on inventions to make the world a whole lot better, and excited about that. And I hope we'll be able to make a lot of progress and have a lot more content on the website soon. But anyway, just it's a hard task to get things going, and there's an incredible opportunity for first round investors to get involved in FY Group, and love to share that with you. And you can go to Munson D1 at sbcglobal.net to reach out to me by email, and I'll be happy to send you more information if you're a potential investor or just really interested to learn more. So please join with us. Don't be like so many that make Edmund Burke's famous admonition so real, who said, all that's needed for evil to prevail is for good men to do nothing. And sadly, what we're seeing is an awful lot of people are very sad about the way the world goes, but don't get behind people that are trying to make a difference. Now, the GetRollAlliance.org and GetRollTV.com are really nonpartisan organizations, because at my heart, I'm a libertarian Christian. You can go to libertarianchristian.com and learn more about that philosophy. But basically, it's about loving your neighbors yourself, which really means you have a minimal government that doesn't use force to drive social action, that social action is taken by Christian charity instead of government edicts and government control, which oftentimes has so many unintended consequences. So we're officially nonpartisan, but we support the least bad candidates. And generally, as you can see from our other interviews and programming, that's some of the non-mainstream rhino type Republicans, but people that are really for a smaller government and really radical change from this uniparty path we're on towards greater and greater government and more intrusion in people's lives. So I vote for the least bad, and I'm very distressed that we're at a point in this country where we have a presidential election with two candidates who have issues, but the Democratic Party, in my mind, has just totally disrupted the democratic process by appointing a candidate who hasn't won one vote and touting her as the second coming of a great joyful orator, when in reality, she has the most divisive and unloved positions on the record. So I hope that if you haven't watched some of the conservative channels that show some of her past video interviews and comments, that you'll go to that. And because most people who think she's a great candidate haven't learned anything about her positions on so many issues, on healthcare, on policing, on the border, on immigration control. I mean, friends, it is just shocking, the propaganda of what is now really the state media of most of the media outlets, just parroting the leftist line, saying it's going to be great, it's going to be joyful. Friends, there's a lot of dark, dark stuff that can happen with a Kamala administration, including if they do put in place this plan to tax unrealized capital gains. That can just destroy the economy, because nobody that has a stock that has a big capital gain will be able to hold it. They'll have to sell part of it to pay the tax. So there'll be a constant reshuffling of the economy, and the potential for incredibly dramatic decline in values as people realize that capital gains aren't going to be a wonderful way to build wealth with a long-term hold, but you need to trade and keep your basis moved up so that you don't have that big unrealized tax debt. I'm very concerned about it, friends, as someone who is not really a fan of either party, but because both sides have voted for bigger and bigger government and bigger deficits. So join with me to do your research. I think as the least bad candidate, Trump is the candidate to embrace. He has his issues. He has problems. I don't think he's going to be nearly as dramatically smaller government and more freedom, because the deep state is so powerful and entrenched. And due to Woodrow Wilson, the administrative permanent state is totally in control, and elected officials have nominal influence. We've seen that with the GOP takeover of the House, where they basically had no effective legislation, no real influence in the budget process, and are just token opposition to the deep state, which is just democratically overwhelmingly run. So join with me, friends. We need to build popular support for real change. So don't be sitting back thinking, well, I can't do anything. You can do something. You can support us. You can give us your support at GetRollTV.com or GetRollLines.org. Money matters. Money helps us get the word out. I'm putting my own money into this because I believe so strongly that we need to change for to have a good future. Please join with me and let's make a difference in the world. Let's get real about things and have a real positive change happen in the world. Thank you for joining with me. Watch our other programming and please share this podcast with other people and help me have a bigger influence. Thank you for watching.